Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampingwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my YouTube or my Facebook page. I really do appreciate anybody that does come and watch me live, but this is not going to be a live. I pre-recorded this because I'm going to be away, but I didn't want to miss my technique and I didn't want to miss my sketch one. So I recorded two for this week and I'll be back next week as it is. Anyways, I'm just heading off to Montreal to visit with family. So it's going to be a very short but sweet gathering or visit. Anyways, so this is Technique Tuesday. So remember, this is part of when I won't be talking with anybody at this particular time, and I miss that. But if you're going to watch me as it's going on premieres as a live, make sure that you do make that. I will try to catch these lives as they do go on, and I can make comments or I'll comment afterwards. Excuse me. So anyways, so let's play with marbles today. This is such an old technique that honestly it's kind of a fun technique, but it's very, very old and one I'd actually forgotten about. So I'm gonna we're gonna make a card with it. Such a simple technique. So let's go on down to our desktop here. So it's a rolling marble technique. So I went and I got these marbles from the dollar store, and I've got some of them sitting here. We got cat's eyes and all that sort of stuff, and we got these big ones. I don't know. I never ever played marbles, so I'm not sure exactly. My brother did, but I didn't. I will tell you, and I'll show you one that was done with the bigger marbles, and you may neglect to or decide not to use them. I think the smaller ones work better. Anyway, so in the instruction sheets, which we'll be posting on Wednesday at 9:05 Pacific time, this will post, but I'm telling you how you can do this if you don't have certain pieces. When I did this years ago, we used the old clam shells that we got with our wooden stamps. This works great. So if you have some wooden stamps, you can just take your wooden stamps out and use this. This is a retired one that was a later one that you can use later, that came about later on. I think you could probably use the file ones too. Just have to be a little bit more careful. Or what you could do is just take a flat container or a box, line it on the bottom with wax paper, and then just put a window sheet that you can get from the back of your photopolymer stamp sets or some acetate or something like that. So what you want to do is you want to pick a colorful selection of re-inkers. Now, I played around with a few and I'm going to show you some, and I'll show you some of the drawbacks with using some of them. So I'm going to use this particular one just because it's a little bit neater for me, especially when I'm doing this and then I'm going to continue on to make a card with it, that this just happens to work for me. Now, I am going to take the Summer Splash. Now, it says to pick a colorful array of colors. Now, these were my original colors I was going to pick: a Granny Apple Green, Petunia Pop, and this beautiful Summer Splash. After playing with it, you'll see, and I'm going to let you see what I did with it. But I'm just going to come in with the Summer Splash. And sometimes it's better to just have a little bit. So I'm just going to put maybe 4 of these dots there of a re-inker. And I think I might, I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm going to just put 1 drop of the Granny Apple Green. And then you can leave it just like this, or you can go in and spritz it with some water. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to let you see it without the water, and then we can go in and I can do another one with water. So all you're going to do is grab some marbles. They should probably all be the same size. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to put the marbles in there and watch this. All we're doing, see, it's not really mixing that up. We could get a rather interesting look there. So let me just continue to do this. But I think we need to spritz some water in there just to get something going and getting it moving. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of water. I'm not going to put a lot in. And we're just going to now go back in with those marbles and see what happens with that. What an interesting and fun way to do this, right? All right, so then this is why I wanted to use this, because I can move those marbles out of the way. I'm coming in with a piece of basic white cardstock. I think this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And now I'm just going to go and just place that down there. And then I'm just going to come in and pick it up. Now, putting too much water on it would mean that it has to dry. This is what I wanted to avoid, were these big blotches of them. But I think it still works okay. It would have been actually, and I wonder if I can do this. Let me do this with the clam one. Now, these marbles are not going to be washed, but let's just show you something else that you could do. I want to say go in and just use the Summer Splash. So I'm going to come in here. Now, this has a bit of a embossed sort of image on there. So let's just go, and we're going to just use the Summer Splash. And I'm going to come in because we know it works better with the water. Now, I don't want there to be blotches. So I'm going to actually really spread that part out. And then I'm going to come in. Now, these marbles have the green on them as well. And let's just go and now this is going to be more because there's more water on here. Oops. I'm just going to do that there. And then we can go ahead and just put this on there as well. I really kind of like the fine part to this here. But you can make so many of these different, oh, look, see, that one's just completely mucked up. So that one didn't work at all, but kind of a pretty background. So we could use that in something else. All right, so let's go ahead and use this particular one. Like I say, it's got the Granny Apple Green and it's got the Summer Splash. Let me show you some of these other ones. This one had a lot of water, kind of like this one. And this is Granny Apple Green and Summer Splash. You can see this is Granny Apple Green, Summer Splash, and that Petunia Pop. Now there's these blotches here, and this is used with the bigger marble. And that's what the bigger marble did, was gave these kind of marks on it. So I didn't quite like that. And plus it made it go a little muddy. I really like this one. This one had Gorgeous Grape. It had Granny Apple Green, and it had the Petunia Pop in there as well. That one was kind of interesting. And then, of course, you have this one that was kind of my first attempt. And it was a real muck up. But I can see that being used for Halloween, right? Could use something for that. I know I could use this for something. And, of course, I could go ahead and use something with that. But I don't think the marble technique will be the thing that we're actually going to feature on those ones. But let's go ahead. See how it makes a really kind of a pretty background on there. All right. So like I say, you could also try with rubbing alcohol. And actually one of these is a rubbing alcohol. And I think this one was rubbing alcohol. And yeah, and the big marbles. So that didn't even help that it went that way on there. Okay. So this, maybe we should just go and heat this up so that we can dry it. We don't want to spread that ink any more than the way that it did with the marble. And all it's doing is just giving yourself a unique kind of a background that, you know, you wouldn't have had at that point, right? Okay, so lots of different ways you can use the marbles on there. Now, I've got just a plain piece of basic white, and it's 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. Let's just go and get that with our bone folder. Remember that this will be on 9:05 on Wednesday morning. Now I have some Summer Splash. I'm just going to put that in on, and this happens to be 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have this piece that's going to go on there like that. So let's go ahead and put that on to the front piece of the cardstock, not the card base. And like I say, it just gives you a tiny bit of a different thing to do if you're tired of the same sort of backgrounds and everything else. Now it's got a really neat texture to it. It's raised and everything else, so it's kind of, that part is kind of cool. Now I wasn't sure what I could mix with this, so I thought maybe what we'll do is we'll bring in the sketched butterflies for this particular one to finish off the card. And I've gone ahead and I stamped and I played around. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but we have this spray of the butterflies, which is kind of neat. Yeah, this is really neat. It has that, it's kind of a raised sort of thing. Like I say, simple technique, one that's been done ages and ages and ages ago. And then I went and I took this designer series paper. Does it look familiar? It's the one from Unbounded Beauty. And we have that. And I went and I stamped with Versamark. I stamped some of these butterflies. And I thought, oh, that's going to add a bit of a different sort of look here. Or what we could do is add some more of these. So let me see this and maybe put this up here. And then I could put one of these butterflies on there to kind of just give it a different sort of a look on there. Remember, usually with the technique, it's not really the card that's important. I think I'll put that on the inside. But it's more the technique itself. But I think this will kind of lend to it. Maybe I could have gone more vibrant of a color with the butterflies, but it actually up close, it looks really kind of pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and put those on. Like I say, now something like this, you may want to use your adhesive sheets for. I'm going to let it kind of sit for a bit and let it set. And then I'm going to just put this here because I'm going to let these wings kind of float up. Okay. And then also we need to have some words on there. And of course, I am going to, this, like I say, is in white embossing powder. So I'm going to do this. Now there's some beautiful, beautiful sentiments on here. I don't know if this one would fit on there. I don't think it will. Oh, it will. Let's go ahead and let's put this. This is a birthday one. I have a birthday when I'm in Montreal that I have a birthday party that we're going to. So maybe this could be the birthday card. I don't know. We'll kind of see, play it by ear. And I'm going to just use some Versamark. Like I say, we can always do different things with this. Let's see. I think that's going to fit there. Let's see. Nope. It also has a halo on it. Don't you just hate that? So let's go back in. Now, I think that was crooked. So let's try straightening that up. I should stamp it ahead of time. So how many of these are you doing the techniques that I do? I do see people that do go on to my group and post them, but I'd love to see your samples that you've done. Okay, so this, I'm going to come in with white embossing powder. There we go. And we'll just heat set that as well. After this, I have one more thing that has to be done in my craft room, and then I'm hoping, you know what, this is crooked. So we'll straighten this one up as well. Just because I don't want it. I could fussy cut this out, but I have another thought that I want to do, so I want to try it. Okay, I could fussy cut that one, so that won't go to waste. Well, let's try again. Third time's the charm, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to just go with that. Just go like that. I think this is too low. Oh, it might be okay. But yeah, so one more thing to do after, but I think I'll do that after I've taken sweet little Taquita over. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay. So we'll just heat set that one as well. But boy, do I have a mess in here. Creative chaos. It's definitely what it is. So all right. And then we're going to cut that. So let's see how this is going to look. So let's just cut this side here. And then we can cut here. Now this I want to be at about 3.5. I'm going to see how this is going to work. And we can just trim this off just a bit, just to even that up. There we go. That looks a little bit better. All right, so then what we want to do is bring this back in. You see how this is going to go like this. Oh, you know what? I think maybe I'm going to have to, I wanted that to go all the way to the end. Well, we're going to cut it just a bit more. It's not to the end, so we'll make it look like I wanted it as a border on there. See if that works okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so it's just going to go like that. Let's come in with our, whoops, I remembered I have glue on the back of these. Let's go ahead and put this right on there. And then this one can go, move this down further. Maybe this should come down just a tad further. This can go here. And then this part can go right there. Oh, that's looking not bad. Okay, so I'm just going to come in. I'm going to use my mini embossing folders or dimensionals. Oh my goodness. Where did embossing folders come from? Just like that. There. And then this part here. What I wanted to do was my thought process was I wanted to come in with this ribbon. This is that same ribbon that matches it. And I just wanted to tie a knot on here. So we'll see how that looks. If it doesn't look any good, we'll just take it apart. But I think I might have to cut just a bit more off so it looked like I intentionally had it shorter. So just tying a knot on there. Oops. Tie it tight. Whoops, can't even see that. There we go. And I'm going to just come in and just cut off just a tiny bit more there. That white looks so pretty on this this summer splash. There we go. Let's try that now. Just like that. Yeah, that'll work okay. And I think we're going to pop that up with dimensionals as well. So funny. When I'm doing pre-recording, I'm looking for people to make comments or that are making comments. And of course, I don't see them. Okay, so just there. And then let's put this onto our card base. I know we had that basic white. Here it is. Oh, it looks like I cut it a little bit crooked. So let me just go in and straighten that up. Okay. It happens when sometimes I use my Carl cutter instead of my, ooh, it's looking kind of clean and okay, let's go ahead and put that on there. That we have these butterflies that can go in there, and I think that'll go right there. I really don't like that color combination on the back of this. I don't think I'll use that paper for anything. All right, so we have that like that. Now, to me, what would be perfect with this, for these embellishments, are these resin dots. So let's just come in here, and of course we're going to use the Summer Splash ones. Kind of gets lost in the, might have to use another, I have another, you know what, I think I'll use this one, and then let's just go in there. So there we have it, our rolling marble technique. So this will be posted at 9:05 on Wednesday Pacific time in the morning, with the instructions and all the measurements on there. Shows you what we've got, and it'll show you the colors. But like I say, experiment with it. It's a lot of fun to try the different techniques. It's actually fun just to watch the marbles roll around. And then maybe what you can do is take it afterwards and give it to the grandkids or the kids and let them play marbles. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Remember to give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate it. And remember to create because it's great for the soul. Take care. Bye for now.